Confused about where to stay at Walt Disney World and how to get the most bang for your buck? Today, we're breaking down the differences between deluxe, moderate, and value resorts at Walt Disney World. Welcome back, guys. Hope you're all having a fantastic week. I'm Brianna at Travel Dolce, and today I'm sharing all the details about staying at a Disney resort hotel. You know, I'm a huge advocate for staying on Disney property, but sometimes there are so many options that it can be overwhelming. So today we're going to break it down and share all the details about value, deluxe, and moderate resorts and help you make the best option for your group. Let's start with deluxe resorts. These, of course, are going to be the most expensive, but they also have the most conveniences and amenities. Deluxe resorts run from $400 to $600 a night, with some resorts costing over $2,000 a night. Deluxe resorts include Yacht and Beach Club, The Contemporary, Wilderness Lodge, Polynesian Village Resort, Disney's Boardwalk Inn, the Grand Floridian Resort and Spa, and Animal Kingdom Lodge. Some of the perks that staying at a deluxe resort include the biggest room size. The room square footage is 359 to 476 square feet. You're also going to have the most dining options at deluxe resorts. Most all of these include at least one signature dining location, which is just Disney's way of saying a very upscale, pricey restaurant. They will all have probably at least another sit-down restaurant and some quick service locations as well. Also at deluxe resorts, you're going to have club level options, and you're also going to be guaranteed a fitness room, spa, and salon. While we're on the topic of deluxe places to stay, we should talk about DVC or Disney Vacation Club rooms and villas. These start at $400 a night and can go well above $5,000 a night. And remember, you do not have to be a Disney Vacation Club member to book these rooms. You can still book them as a regular hotel guest. Deluxe villas are available at Disney's new Riviera Resort, the Boardwalk Villas, Disney's Old Key West Resort, Animal Kingdom Villas at Jambo House and Kidani Village. The Poly has villas and overwater bungalows too. Saratoga Springs Resort and Spa, Bay Lake Tower at the Contemporary, Copper Creek Villas at Wilderness Lodge, and the Grand Floridian has villas as well. Some perks of a villa are obviously more space to accommodate bigger families and groups. You're also going to have separate rooms, so separate bedrooms, bathrooms, sitting areas. It's all going to be separated out into rooms. There are different layouts depending on what you're looking for. So they have studio villas, 1, 2, and 3 bedroom options as well. So if we're talking square footage, for example, let's just take a studio villa over at the Boardwalk. Their square footage is 379 for a studio. And then the square footage moves up to 712 square feet if you go up to a 1-bedroom villa. If you're looking for the most square footage out of a villa, I would look over at Old Key West. Those villas were the very first ones built on Disney property, so they have the very most space. And that Old Key West is getting ready to get renovated, I believe, in a complete remodel. So those are probably going to be really, really nice places to stay once that happens. Some villas will have a full kitchen, and most will at least have a kitchenette. So this is really nice since you're spending quite a bit to stay there. You could potentially save some money on preparing some of your own meals. So if you have groceries delivered or you go out and get groceries, you have a place to store those in your fridge and pantry area, and then you can easily prepare those meals right in your room if you choose to or want to. Also, if you don't want to prepare like a whole meal, it's really nice just to have easy grab and go breakfast items available, milk and cereal. You know, you'll have dishes available, so that's super easy. And then you can just maybe have some snacks available too. I always recommend that for the rooms. Also in the villas, you can find a washer and dryer. This is super nice, especially if you're there for a longer amount of time and need to do some laundry, or maybe you just got caught in one of the famous Florida rainstorms and you need to dry out your clothes. But either way, it's super nice to have that washer and dryer option as well. The other thing that's really great about the villas, I mentioned separate rooms. Some even have more than one bathroom, which if you're in my family, that bathroom space is super important. So let's move on to moderate resorts. These are going to be just below the deluxe resorts, and are still going to have a lot of the amenities, but just not quite as high class. Most moderate rooms run from $200 to $350 a night. Moderate resorts include Disney's Caribbean Beach Resort, Coronado Springs Resort, Port Orleans Riverside and Port Orleans French Quarter, and the cabins at Fort Wilderness. Moderate resort characteristics are square footage of 314 square feet to 375 square feet per room. At moderate resorts, you're going to have some dining options, usually at least one sit-down restaurant. Now note, at the Port Orleans Riverside and Port Orleans French Quarter, they share a sit-down restaurant called Boat Rights. But every other moderate resort has their very own sit-down restaurant, and then each moderate resort will have at least one or two other options for quick service. So that's really nice. They don't have the signature options typically like you see in the deluxe resorts, but they still have sit-down options, so that is super convenient. And then there is at least one moderate resort that offers a club level, and you do have spa and fitness options at moderate resorts as well. So let's move on to value resorts. So value resorts are going to run you about $150 to $200 a night, except for those family suites over at Art of Animation. Those are going to be around $350 to $500 per night. The value resorts include Disney's All-Star Movies, All-Star Sports, and All-Star Music, Pop Century, and Art of Animation. Characteristics of a value resort include the smallest square footage at 240 to 260 square feet. They have the fewest dining options. However, most all of them have at least one quick service location. And you're not going to have a club level at the value resorts, and there's typically not a spa or fitness center at the value options either. Another option you can get on the cheap are the campsites at Fort Wilderness Lodge. So if camping's your style, you can even pull your RV in there. They've got hookups for those, and there are options for tents or pop-ups as well. Okay, so we've talked about most of the differences. Let's talk about some of the similarities and amenities that all Disney properties will have. So this doesn't matter whether or not you stay at a deluxe, moderate, or value resort. As long as you're on Disney property, these amenities will apply to you. So first, all Disney resorts are going to offer shampoo, conditioner, and body wash. At the higher end deluxe resorts, you may still get some of those extras like mouthwash and aloe for your sunburned skin. And even in those little individual size, a lot of the Disney resorts are moving away from single personalized products like that, and they just have big bottles mounted on the wall in the showers, like for shampoo, conditioner, and body wash. But some of the deluxe resorts, you're still getting those individualized pieces. But shampoo and conditioner, toiletry products, those are all there. But bring your own toothbrush and toothpaste. Next up, every single Disney room has a thermostat in the room, and you can control the temperature of your room. Most of them are preset to the low 70s, and you can definitely feel that nice cool AC if you're there in the summertime, or even if you're there in December and it's 85 degrees. That AC feels good, but you do have the ability to adjust the temperature no matter where you stay. Next up is pools. All Disney resorts have a swimming pool. Now, towels are provided at all deluxe and moderate resorts and some value resorts. Now, At some of the value locations, you will be asked to bring your towels down from your room to use at the pool, but never fear, you can always request more towels from guest services or housekeeping at the hotel if you run low or left your towels at the pool or whatever it might be. You can always get those extra towels if you need them. And please note that at Disney World, you can no longer pool hop. I think this used to be a thing several years ago, but now all the pools are fenced in, and you have to enter the pool with your Magic Band. So if you're not staying at that resort, you won't be able to get in. You can go around to any of the other Disney properties and hotels and look at them and eat at any of their restaurants and check out all their areas, but if you're not a guest at the hotel, then you can't swim in their pool. Another thing all Disney resorts have in common is pizza delivery. So every single Disney resort you can get pizza delivery right from Disney. It's a little pricey at 2 table service dining credits per pizza, and the pizza I don't think is all that great. I haven't heard great things about it, but if it's late night and you're starving, it may be the way to go. So keep that in mind. And then they have added some things to the menu at other value and moderate resorts, different things like salads or sandwiches, wings, and even dessert at some locations. And then at Deluxe resorts, you're going to have an even more extensive room service menu. Now, I haven't personally ordered room service at Disney, but I haven't heard great things about that either. The food, they say, usually comes cold and it's not all that great. So just keep that in mind, but I wanted you to know that it's definitely an option. Every Disney resort also has bell services. Bell services was super helpful to us when we stayed in Disney last December. So bell services will do things like store your luggage. So if your room is not ready yet, they will store your luggage and even bring it up for you when your room is ready if you call them. Also, if you have groceries delivered from like Prime or Instacart, they will store your grocery delivery if you just leave a note on your order. And they'll even keep the cold things cold. At least they did at the Contemporary. So you might double check with the bell services at your Disney resort. But I know at the Contemporary, they kept all of our cold things cold and the rest of our stuff all together. And we could easily pick it up when we got back to the resort and take it on up to our room. All Disney resorts also offer housekeeping, or mousekeeping as Disney likes to call it. But you can usually opt out of this in exchange for a gift card at the price of $10 per day. So if you don't want your room cleaned, like your bed's made and your towels switched out and your trash taken out for you, you can opt out of the housekeeping services. But you can definitely still ask for a change of sheets and fresh towels, and you can leave your trash outside your room in the hallway, and they'll take that stuff away. But you're just not gonna have someone doing all the work for you. So if you ask for clean sheets, you're gonna be changing the sheets yourself. We always opt into the housekeeping services just because it's super convenient for them to clean our room while we're out at the parks. And then come back to a nice, neat, and organized room, and they do accept tips. So obviously, every Disney resort is going to have a way to check in and check out. They'll have a front desk area where you can go to ask questions, and they will assist you with check-in and check-out. But remember, Disney does have the option for you to skip the front desk. So if you select your Magic Bands online and have them shipped to your house and you have them ahead of time, you can actually skip the front desk and you don't even have to stop there at all. You can just go directly to your room. You'll have the option to sign up for text alerts on your phone when your room is ready. They will go ahead and text you with your room number and all that information, so you can just go directly to your room and skip the front desk entirely. Now, you will want to do the online check-in where they ask for a card for just like security, like a security deposit, just in case anything would happen, or if you need to charge something to the room, you have that card on file. And then also, if you have any preferences, you can select those in the online check-in. And it's a super easy, convenient way. You don't have to stand in line to check in, and you can just go right to your room. And in the same fashion, they have just that quick service checkout. There's no keys to turn in, so you don't necessarily have to stop by the front desk unless you have questions or need to dispute something on your bill. But an entire invoice will be emailed to you at the end of your stay. And you can even track expenses along the way in the My Disney Experience app. So if you're wondering how much you've racked up during your vacation, you can always have a quick check-in on that. Note that if you would like to have a late checkout, that is something that Disney does offer, but it's very rare. So if you're interested in a late checkout, what you need to do is call the front desk the night before you're leaving and ask if there is a late checkout time available. They may ask you what time you want to leave, and then they'll let you know if that's an option. Of course, every Disney Resort hotel is also going to have a gift shop. Some have more than one shops, and then a lot of them will have like little convenience shops as well that have things like over-the-counter medications, snacks, drinks, and things like that. If you need to just purchase those things for your room. I think we forgot sunscreen on our last trip of all things, but it was winter in Kansas, so we weren't thinking about it. But anyway, all those resorts do have gift shops. Also included in your Disney Resort hotel stay is going to be your magic bands. So if you want to select just a solid colored magic band, that's going to be included. You can select other themed and designed magic bands at a discount. I think is $10 off of what the standard price of the magic band is. So for Grayson, he really wanted a Stitch magic band, so we went ahead and purchased that for him. I think we paid $10 for that, so it was $10 discounted, originally $20. So magic bands are included in your stay. Extra magic hours are another great perk that's included in every single Disney resort stay. So no matter if you're at a deluxe, moderate, or value resort, you're still going to have access to those extra magic hours. And that's available on certain days for each park, usually an hour before the park opens or a few hours after the park closes. It'll remain open just to guests staying on Disney property. So if you are staying on property, that's an added perk that you get. Also, if you're staying on property, you can take advantage of package delivery. So what this is, if you purchase something in one of the parks but you don't want to carry it around with you all day, you can ask the cast member at checkout if it can be delivered to your room. Now, sometimes it will take a couple days to get there, so please don't use this service if you aren't going to be there for a couple more days, like if it's your last day. Don't use that delivery service, but the package delivery can be really handy if you buy something bigger or more fragile that you don't want to carry around all day. Transportation to and from the airport is also included in your resort stay. You get a ride on the Magical Express to and from the Orlando airport if you book a hotel on Disney property. Transportation throughout Disney property and to the parks is also included in your resort stay. So you can travel by bus, boat, monorail, or now the new Skyliner to get around Walt Disney World. You'll also get to take advantage of extended reservation windows when you're staying on site. So that means that instead of 30 days in advance, you can book those fast passes 60 days in advance, where other guests have to wait until 30 days. You can also start booking those advanced dining reservations 180 days prior to your first day of arrival. So if someone is not staying on Disney property, they kind of have to do that one day at a time. It'll be 180 days out from each day of their stay. So that's a great advantage. You can get all those ADRs booked all at once. And one of my favorite perks is the resort airline check-in. So not all Disney resorts have this, I don't think, but most of them do. So if your resort has airline check-in, do it, because it's just like checking in at the airport. The staff that work those resort airline check-in stands actually work for the airlines and the airport. So they will print your boarding passes, they will tag your bags, and take any of your checked luggage directly to the airport for you, so you don't have to lug it along on the Magical Express and try and handle it all and make sure you have it all and get it on and off and all that good stuff. So resort airline check-in is a lifesaver. So is it worth it to stay on Disney property? It's really something that's very personal to a lot of people, and for me it is, because it's all about the convenience and the experience. The perks to staying on site, we've talked about some of them, but there are also additional ones. So you're going to have that extra Disney touch. You're going to be inside the Disney bubble the entire time. You're going to have time savings. You're not going to have to travel to the parks from your hotel if you're staying off-site every single day, to and from. And it's harder to go back in the afternoon just to have a little break or rest time. It's a lot more travel time, and at Disney World, you know, time is money, so that's something to keep in mind. Also, you're not going to have that theme park parking fee. Now, if you drive your car to the resort and you're staying on site, you're still going to have a nightly parking fee. But if you're staying off site and just drive your rental car to the theme parks, you're probably going to park at the Ticket and Transportation Center, and they're going to charge you a parking fee every day. Plus, if you rented that car, that's also another added extra cost instead of using the complimentary Disney transportation. So just things to think about, things to keep in mind. If you stay on site, you have that free transportation. You're also going to have special events and activities that happen at the resorts that if you're not staying there, you won't be able to participate in. So they have things like fun runs, holiday events, they have wine tastings and painting classes and just all sorts of fun things that you can participate in. So be sure and check those out when you check in. Make sure there's not something that you want to participate in, and kind of slide that into your schedule if you can. Overall, Disney hotels are very convenient, very comfortable. They do a great job. They are expensive, but keep an eye out for those deals or talk to your travel agent, because they will typically have offers all year round. And even if you've already booked your vacation, those offers can still be applied to your reservation even after booking. So there is usually limited availability at each resort, so just keep that in mind and jump on it early, but typically there are discounts to be had. Have you stayed on site at Walt Disney World? Where did you stay at and what did you think? Did it kind of jive up with what I said today? If you have any tips about staying on site or off site at Walt Disney World, drop it in the comments below. I'm sure we'd all love to hear about your experience. Thanks so much for watching today, guys. I really appreciate your support. If you found this information valuable, please go ahead and subscribe, ring that notification bell so you're notified every single time I upload. I post new videos every single Thursday morning at 10 a.m. and I'll put that out on my social media every time I upload. So if you're not following me there, I'll put them up on the screen and in the description box below so you can find me. And I hope you're having a fantastic week, and thanks so much for watching. See you next time. Bye.